When I'm in Arkansas working, I don't feel too guilty about getting up early in the morning. I will often hear lawnmowers going and chainsaws going and such at 6 a.m. Colorado's a little bit different story. This morning I was out here at 5:45. I got started and ran the power saw just a little bit and got to thinking I've probably got some neighbors that'll get pretty upset with me, so I took it easy, went back in, had a cup of coffee and donut, and waited for an hour or so. So now it's actually close to 8 o'clock, and if I wake up some neighbors, oh well, it's time to get up. So I've done quite a bit since I last recorded. I have mortised and set all the hinges. I've built the door frame. The lock set is set, and the deadbolt now is set. I don't remember if I was recording or not when I did it, but I've set some of the rosette head nails on the bottom and top of the door. I'm ready to set the door stop now, and what I'm doing is I've cut a piece of rough sawn and I've surfaced it to 5/8 of an inch thick. I routed a 1/16 of an inch deep on the back side of it here to recess for the weather stripping to fit. And this is actually my favorite weather stripping. I really like using this. It seems to last a long time, and it's really, really efficient and airtight. So I'm ready to get going with that. I've got everything cut and ready to go. So let's get started. I'll fit it tight against the head, and I'll probably end up leaving this up just a little bit, and then once I set it in place and the siding's already there, I'll take the belt sander and level this down to the same as what the siding is, so that when I put a piece of door trim over the top of it, it fits nice and snug. I'm going to use a Jorgensen clamp because I want to be able to squeeze a little tighter on the bottom than I do on the top of this thing. And then I'll set it together with screws. I'm going to start on the head end. Make sure I've got contact all the way. And that looks like it should be pretty airtight. I'll go to the other side. Now near the lock set, I want it to be just barely touching the door. What happened when I did the back door is that I got the weather stripping a little bit too tight, and then it became almost impossible to be able to close the door far enough that I could use the key to operate the deadbolt. So I ended up relieving that a little bit, but on this one I don't want to make that mistake. I'll just have the weather stripping barely touching here. I do want to make sure it is at least touching though, so that I don't have air infiltration. And it looks like I've got good contact all the way. My screws are actually just a little bit too short. So I'll drive them in a little farther. Okay, the weather stripping and doorstop now is finished. The one thing left to do is to trim the outside face of the door. Now, since we have plywood sandwiched in the middle of this, there is no concern for sag. When this would have been built back in the 1850s, it would have been just a single layer of boards that would have required a diagonal brace on it to keep the door from eventually sagging. So, to make it appear that it was built back in the 1850s, we're going to go ahead and put this in. One thing that I will have on these is a fake hinge. Back then they'd have probably been using strap hinges. A fake hinge, let me see if I've got a picture of it. A fake hinge that looks something like that, or they would have used a real one, of course. But that strap will sit, it's 14 inches in length, so it will sit here and there. And I may go ahead and put one in the middle too. I'll have to see how that ends up looking. Anyway, that's the plan. Let me get these glued and nailed into place, and then I'll blow it off. I'll drop this one in to where we can take a little better look at the door, and then it's ready to hang. And I ran out of glue at the perfect place. Blow it off and we'll take a look at it. Okay, here we are, straight out of 1850. I can hardly believe that this thing took me 2.5 days to build. That doesn't even include surfacing the lumber. But I guess I do what it takes. I'm pretty proud of it. I've got to say, I kinda like it. I'll flip it over, we'll take a look at the inside. Okay, this is what it looks like from the inside. My best guess for weight is about 250 pounds, so I'm kind of questioning myself as to how the heck I'm going to set this. I can back up to relatively close, but there is some amount that I'm going to have to do by hand. I don't know if I can figure out a way of getting the tractor to help me or not, but I sure will if I can. Anyway, thank you for being here with me on this episode. I'll see you on the next one, which will probably be setting this door.